and salutations, gamers. Welcome to Cast Co-op, the podcast in which three podcast hosts cast together. I am one of your hosts, Luke Lore, the Insipid Ghost and host of the Xbox Expansion Pass, joined by my big brother and yours, Mr. Ainsley Bowden of the Bitcast and Season Gaming. How are you, sir?
What is happening, fellas? Halo is 40 days away. Just want to plug that right at the start.
Halo, 40 days away. Bloodborne 2.
Woo! Got him right out of the gate.
Quite a while.
Right out of the gate.
And Bloodborne 2, Super Stan, simping for it right there. Host of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, Mr. Joseph Moran. What's up, buddy?
Man, this episode of the Trophy Room is very special because you don't know this, Luke. You haven't gotten this far in.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, in less than a month, not just beat Bloodborne, but platted it in secret. The man went to work.
The man did go to work.
God bless.
Bravo,
so I couldn't
Kyle.
be.
Bravo.
I couldn't be more proud of my co-host. This
Platinum
week.
Bloodborne is no joke either.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So is in the big picture for the people that don't know, is that equivalent to like a legendary solo in Halo or harder? Is it harder than that?
I mean, depends on how proficient you are in Halo.
Oh,
Right.
so it's an apples and oranges comparison, and we're all silly for trying to do that. Oh,
Yeah.
The hard,
Gotcha.
I think, Joe, correct me, you know better than me, but I think the hard thing about the Platinum and Bloodborne, right, is you have to do the Chalice dungeons. And the Chalice dungeons just take, not only can they be challenging once you get later, but they just take time. Like there's a lot of time.
Yeah, there's like two bosses in particular that could eat a bag of dicks. For sure.
When I wanted to platinum God of War, but when you guys talk about those chalices, it reminds me of the Valkyries. And like, dude, I beat probably 3 or 4 of the Valkyries, and then I was like, nah.
I'm just saying, I got the Platinum. I don't know what the problem is.
I mean, you were dedicated. I, at the time, did not want to.
The Valkyrie bosses actually are very reminiscent of Souls bosses. They're it's very so.
I could see it in that play style, and I really did want to do it, but then at the time I had Ghost of Tsushima sitting on my plate. I had just played
that could have waited.
Last. All right, I'm not going there because that's a different fight. But I bring that up because if Kyle platted it, we recently saw a tweet I saw a tweet from my good friend Adam Leonard, who talked about how he never cares about or even knows what his achievements and trophy lists look like, and it came off the back of Patrick Maka's tweet about developers probably don't even know about trophy or achievement values to gamers, because Riders Republic has these weird numbers like 32 and 16 and stuff. I absolutely said no thank you the moment I found out that Riders Republic had those kind of achievements. Can I tell you? I was like, no. And when I read Adam's tweets, like, people care about this, and I was like, yes, absolutely, people care about this. And Ains, your gamer score is not an increment of 5.
It hasn't been for a long time. Yeah, it used to annoy me, guys. I used to go crazy. I remember the first time I got a not 5 or 0, and I literally went on True Achievements or whatever the site is where you can look at odd numbered achievements. You can look them up. I literally played Mad Max for like 30 minutes just to get it back to a 0.
That's exactly what I did. That is exactly what I did. I started Mad Max, and then I was like, oh, and then got to increment 5, and I was like, peace.
Yeah, and then I was out, and that's how much I used to care. Now I don't care even a little bit. Doesn't bother me at all.
Depends on the game.
Okay, and I appreciate that, but I will say before we talk about that aspect, Joe, in the course of reviewing Guardians, I crossed the 200K mark.
Congratulations!
That's right. I was proud of that.
Piece of trash.
Only a few of them in the 360 era were those like throwaway ones, like Avatar or whatever. And then the rest were all like legit. Like I either earned it through the course of standard gameplay. I never bought a game for achievements or anything like that. Some of them would be easier than others, of course. But in the 360, I think I probably did that with like 5 games. But the rest were legit. Now,
you guys remember when 360 launched and achievements were a new thing? Like how simple they were in those first games. Like King Kong, I remember, was a launch game that I bought.
Easy.
And it has like 9 achievements. They're like, whatever, or 10
Get
achievements.
through the chapters.
Yeah, it's just like, they were like automatic thousands, or there were achievements regularly for like 200 points. It's kind of fun.
I want the King Kong 1000 or 1K because I don't have it. If it goes back and pattern becomes available or something weird, I want to play it because I feel like that's a rite of passage for 360 owners. You know what I mean?
I don't think I ever finished it either.
I never played it, but I always saw it in like the demo, real thing, and I'm like, what? This looks cool.
It actually wasn't a bad at the time. It wasn't a bad game.
Yeah. I'd be curious how it ages.
Trophies,
but yeah, it is weird. Not weird, but it is interesting when I hear you guys talk about trophies and achievements. Obviously, you're the trophy room, Joe, and I know you and Kyle and you, Luke, and like Graham, like really hunt those things down. And like I've just never been away. Yeah, I used to hunt them more than I do now. For especially like Halo. I've completed a lot of the games fully, but I just don't care anymore. I feel like it just takes too much time. It's like, do I want to spend 10 hours more in this game getting achievements, or do I want to play 10 hours in a new game? Like, I just don't have time.
See, I think that's exactly it. Like, if the achievement list or the trophy list is reasonable, I'm in. Like Control Ultimate Edition, Control Standard Edition. Like, those were good achievement lists. They were attainable. They weren't too much, but they allowed you and forced you to play a little bit outside the beaten path to like diversify how you played. But then it was still manageable. But when those Gears of War, seriously, 3.0 things happen, I'm like, I'm not playing for 6 years for this. Like, that's to me not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's a little obnoxious.
Yeah. Like, but it has. I know. Usually, I mean, some people just hunt them for the hell of it. They'll play any game. But for me, it has to be a game I really love too.
Yeah. No, Kyle does like the weird thing of like, I got like the nickel platinums. I'm like, that doesn't count. Like, to me, you really have to. Like, a mutual friend, Graham, who's a Sony pony because he has over 250 platinums. What a dork, right? He tries to rub it in my face, but I'm like, I just hope you loved every single one of those games, because platinums means like I loved this game. Like, I love Red Dead, the original one, not the one that's a bore.
Stop it.
I have like 800 and something achievement points in that game.
Yeah,
that game, like, if I really like you, I'm gonna try my best to get as much as I can or go for the platinum. So that's kind of how I roll with it. So like, for the most part, my 40 something trophies are all mean something in a weird way.
40 something platinums.
Yeah, platinum. Sorry, no, just trophies.
You only got 40.
Yeah, only something. But like, they have to mean something, and the only like cheap ones like IMAO are for the games that I couldn't platinum. So like, this is like the symbolic platinum.
I remember you telling me that, and I don't buy that. I don't think that's a fair thing. Like, oh, I'm getting this platinum because the other game didn't have it. That something about that feels wrong.
It does, but it's just like, this is good enough. Like, for example, Diablo 2 Resurrected, the amount of hours you need to pour into Diablo 2 Resurrected to get that platinum is like 999 hours or something projected. It's like, no way. I'll really love that game and get as many as I can, but once I'm done, I'll get a little symbolic plat.
Right. I think that's a fair point. It's funny because I use achievements often to celebrate a game. I take pride in the 1K or whatever the number is if I like the game a lot. And if I don't like the game a lot, I don't even look. I no longer do the thing where I look at the achievement list to find out if I need to play it on hard or easy or normal. That is
I used to do that too, and it ruins the experience to me. It's like, I'm going to play this game how I want to play it, and then
that's how I did Republic Commando. I was like, oh, I got to play it on hard. All right, here we go. And I could have cheesed it as well. Like, there's like a cheese method, but I'm like, nope, I really love this game. I'll go for it.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that state of play, dork?
Oh man. So yeah, in this episode, guys, we're talking state of play, PlayStation reactions, responses to Xbox, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the Halo Infinite campaign trailer. It's been a good week for games, boys. I looked at the write-up for the state of play on Season Gaming, and then after having looked at it and heard some of the conversations, I went back and watched it. Joe, you did a live reacts. Ains, how did you catch it?
I called it afterwards.
Cut it afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually playing Riders, totally lost track of time, and then saw the guys talking about it. I was like, oh, I guess I should check this out. And then I did, and I was sorry.
Okay. Well, I have thoughts after hearing part of the trophy room from this week. Joe, tell us about what it was like going into this one as a PlayStation content creator, what you were expecting, and then where you landed on expectations.
So my expectations obviously way too high. Looking at it, I have a post of just people shitting on me. But and look, they deserve all the flack that they've gotten. This was not, in the grand scheme of things, was not a good. This is not good for them. This is not a great look. This was a bad showcase. Public perception, right? To me, I came at it going, yeah, you announced this on a Friday? And that's weird. Oh, you're talking about Little Devil Inside? That's your headliner? Okay. And so I came in with really muted expectations, and I got exactly what I thought was going to be there. And I think the one thing that we lose sight of, and something that we always talk about, like if you found 2 or 3 games, that was a good showcase. You don't need every game to sell you. And a lot of games did not sell me, but 2 did. I liked Little Devil Inside. That looked cool. That's going to be a game that I'm going to be buying day one. Death's Door, Luke, I'm going for the plat. Going for the plat.
That's awesome. That's one to be proud of, my friend.
And then I really liked, I think it's like We Are OFC. That indie like rock one, I really dug that one too. So I'm like, I come out with 3 games that I really dug, or I dug, so it's fine. And
Which I think is always the goal. I agree.
Yeah, and I think we oftentimes when we'll get to this in a sec, so I don't want to overshoot my load here. But honestly, I think we do ourselves a disservice of like what this could be, and then making all the thumbnails about it and kind of psyching ourselves up when, and like all just be realistic about it. You just had the big PlayStation showcase in September. You have Game Awards where you know you're going to see something from them in a month away. What did we expect? You know what I mean? Right. So that's where I'm coming at it. Now,
did PlayStation set expectations via a blog post? I feel like I remember hearing you mention that. Can you talk to me through that a little bit, what they said they were going to show?
Yeah, so they talked about how the show was, and let me actually get the verbiage out right, but from what I understand, they were just like, hey, this is let me just get out of here. I'm right here. Come on. Do math.
While you did that, I pulled up my achievements for Death's Door. 10 achievements. I only got 325 gamer score, but that's my game of the year right now, or among my game of the year. I don't have a
wait. What? And which one's that?
Death's Door.
Death's Door.
Yeah, 325.
That happens. Little Nightmares too. I'm looking through mine. That's what I'm doing. I only have 305.
No, listen. No 2D games or simplistic games here. Okay, they got to push the medium every year.
Come on.
All right. So it says hello again. Just a quick note to tell you that State of Play returns Wednesday, October 27th. And then he says you can watch on Twitch or whatever. This time out, we'll be focusing on announcements and updates for upcoming third-party releases ahead of PS5 and PS4. The show is looking to be at about 20 minutes or so. We will share new looks at previously announced games, plus a few reveals from our partners around the world. So it's like, okay, 20-minute show. I'm not expecting much. Now, what I did expect Spider-Man there from Avengers. We didn't get it. The pie in the sky was always Final Fantasy 16. We didn't get that either. So.
And there was also VR talk. People threw out Spider-Man and some VR stuff for Resident Evil.
Because the Oculus thing, but there was that was never set in stone. That was just people saying things to say things. Yeah.
Okay. So bottom line, they set expectations, and those expectations for the standards they said were met, but the internet wasn't agreeing with what it was. Is that correct? Because I watched the State of Play, Joe, and I thought it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just like, I look at that, and I'm like, this is gonna be about a 6 show, and I was like, yeah, it's about a 6 show. It's fine. It's not good. It's not great.
So I thought that was generous because I keep cutting you off. There must be latency. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
I felt like the 6 is even generous. I felt like this show, the meme is that it could have been a blog post, but none of these announcements please.
Can I cut that? I fucking hate that. Please, I really do.
With the cussing.
I'm sorry. I know your mother hates it too, but I really hate that. I saw a few people, some bigger people saying stuff like that. And, and I gotta say, these are games that people put their love and passion and time into, and to just like write it off as like blog post, that's bullshit. And I don't like that one bit. I think if the game's there, that it got out to an audience and never would have if it was on a blog posts. And how many times have we criticized PlayStation for revealing shit in a blog post when we go, like with some of the VR games, they're like, well, why didn't you just make like a 10-minute state of play? It's like, well, this is why you don't do that. So I don't like that, but just because I know people work hard on stuff.
So what do you think about? I saw someone recommend this today on Twitter. I forget who it was, so sorry. But state of play is associated with all PlayStation Live shows, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, there's a vast a chasm of quality in state of plays. We've seen some really excellent ones, like a few months ago, as Luke said. And we've seen this one. Not good, in my opinion. I'm with Luke. I think 6 is generous. But why don't they just separate these a little bit more? Like, Nintendo doesn't do a great job, but they have Nintendo Direct and then they have Nintendo Direct Indies, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's going to be smaller games type thing. Like, why don't you have like a state of play and then you have like a state of play, well, I don't know what the hell you call it. Something different. Something. Yeah, so that these are small developers, small games. We're just highlighting our partners because we think their stuff's cool.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly what our Discord talked about as well. And even some constructive comments on YouTube.
Whoa. How surprised I found some of those, did you?
Yeah. Where some people like, our consensus was like, yeah, it's fine, or it could have been better. And I think the one thing that keeps, repeating is if this was named like a play indie event, right?
Yeah,
that would have been that's what it was, because that's what this really at the end of the day was. And I even said that to Kyle. I'm like, really, they should have renamed this, because if this was an indie event, we would have really banded together and give it a little bit more of a benefit of the doubt. But because you had state of play there, and with state of play, yes, it's a wide range, but like, we've seen some big games be shown off with that brand associated with it. It just makes sense that you have 3 sets of showcases. You have your PlayStation showcase, which they've done 2 times in a row, which showcases the future of PlayStation, their first party, the big E3 event.
Yeah.
You have your state of plays, which are your medium level events, your third party stuff, and then some deep dives like your Horizons or whatever. And then you have your indie events. And I think that's where this could have lived.
Yeah.
And I think PlayStation probably got the memo.
Yeah, I think hopefully they've learned. I was looking at my phone because my buddy, good friend of mine, who for whatever reason, he used to be kind of really big on Xbox and PlayStation, kind of all things. And now he's Mr. Anti-Xbox. And really promotes PlayStation all the time. So I got this message from him yesterday. He said, I don't think I've wasted 20 minutes of my life worse than that state of play. He goes, maybe some of the Nintendo Directs, but damn, that was bad. Yeah. And I don't think I've heard him say a bad word about PlayStation in like a year. So,
yeah. Ouch. Yeah. And again, like I do feel like I'm the only person in the world that not even like just enjoyed this event, but I'm not here to defend it. Like, if the vast majority of people say it sucked, then it sucked, Yeah,
the crazy thing, I think I told you guys, is if you look at those videos, as I was doing the recap for SG, most of the videos that they showed, the individual videos, have more downvotes than upvotes.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, 33K in the English version.
It's bad.
But 10K down, that's
that's for the whole state of play. But if you look at the individual games they showed, it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
And I think the problem with that is, to Joe's original point, you have these developers who have put their heart and soul into these projects, and their projects are probably good for the people that want them. Everything I saw looked like it was of quality, just not for my interest, but of quality. And it sucks because had the expectation been properly communicated, I think those developers would be living in a different world, because they probably saw that and they're like, yes, PlayStation's going to spotlight us. And then they got slammed because it wasn't Uncharted 6.
They got stood up against a shooter wall. We Are OFK has 1.1 thousand upvotes, 3.2 thousand down. It's 75% negative.
And that sucks, because that trailer really was fun.
Yeah, that one was so charming.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play that game. And I still wanted to hug the developers. Like, that's never a game that I'm interested in. And I still felt like those developers were excited about state of play. Were excited about their game. They were having fun with it. They put effort in. That's exactly what I want from indie games. and from my developers in general. And so it stinks that is what they have to contend with every day.
Yeah. Well, and I think I talked about this on Big Gas, but there's this stupid pile-on effect too, which I hate, right? It's like you hear someone say it's bad, that kind of spreads across social media, and then everyone just rushes to downvote and jump on the hate train.
Yep.
And it's just, it's depressing. Like, I didn't enjoy it. Little Devil Inside, I think, looks cool. I want to see more of it. Death's Door is amazing, obviously. We already knew that.
Yeah.
Can't
be Game of the Year. Not allowed.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
It can't be Game of the Year. It's not allowed.
Well, it is now that it's on PlayStation.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
But like, nothing in the show really interested me at all. But I'm not running out to, social media or downvoting these videos. You know what I mean? Like, let the people who do enjoy it enjoy it.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say, so I'm going to stall for time. I lost it. Nope. Nope. Lost it. Nope. Yep.
Just back away. Just backpedal. You got this.
Yep.
That's what a good logo. Audio listeners. It's the Vault Boy with the thumbs up.
It's the perfect show now. I mean, we nail it.
The pile-on effect with Xbox, we saw a lot with Halo Infinite's campaign revealed initially a year ago.
Last year.
And they have masterfully manipulated what was the Craig meme and so many of the downvotes into gold. And they did the same thing with the fridge, and they are now making money off of that, which I couldn't get one. I hate it. Come on.
It wasn't just you. I mean, the bots just crushed it.
Yeah, they did. And what are you
now do? Xbox is dead.
Yeah, Xbox and chill
crushed by a fridge.
That's right. But there's a way, I think, that Sony can twist this on its head and have a rebranded State of Play and say, let's do it right. This is what we're showing, and give these guys a second shot to show stuff somehow, some way. Put them on the front page. They owe these developers, I think, and I don't mean that in a doom and gloom like you're entitled, but they do owe these developers another shot at Spotlight with appropriate expectations. Flip the script. You know what I mean? Find a way to make it effective and work for you as opposed to against you.
Yeah. 100%. PlayStation really needs to work on their messaging, man. That's my big, we've talked about this on shows prior. As a PlayStation fan and as a person that plays on PlayStation, you do not feel like I'm talking to a person. And as a brand, that is dangerous. You have to relate to your customers, and it's just feeling like you're sending us commercial after commercial. There are other brands have fun with it. The UK brand, the Australian accounts, they have fun with it. The main PlayStation proper account is a bore. I don't follow their Stein,
man. They need to find their Stein.
Yes, they need to find the person that just gets it and has fun with it, man. Like when Xbox proper literally, I think, tweeted out something along the lines of like, yeah, we try to rebrand to X Games. Sad face. It's like, that's so good. Yeah. God damn, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Yep. But well, and Sonic and Sega, the guy who ran the Sonic account for a while was just going nuts on it and having a good time. I don't know if you remember that. Nintendo was having fun there was a window of time where Nintendo was having fun.
What?
They were kind of mixing with Xbox. It stopped. I mean, it went away.
They put a stop to that shit right away.
Yeah, they were like, hey, stop having personality. We don't want to sell more stuff. It was weird. But when brands have fun, I'm down with it. Especially when it's KFC Gaming and they get bodied by Back 4 Blood. That will never, ever not be funny. That is the best thing that has ever happened.
That was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Although KFC did make fun of State of Play yesterday too.
I feel like I saw that and I can't remember what it was, but
it's just that normal meme with the guy staring like a smile and then just like, disappointment.
Gotcha. There's a good one that Xbox had, Ains, with Craig, with how it started.
Yeah, got it right here.
Yes.
So are we segueing?
Well, no, we can segue to Halo, and then we'll get to Guardians later.
You just
get to Guardians later, because I do want to talk about that because it had some impacts on some stuff. But yeah, let's talk about Halo. Campaign trailer released, and then PlayStation tried to outdo it in terms of announcements, or they had
I don't think that was
reaction.
the case.
And then they had no, it had to be. There's no way.
You're right.
There's no way that one could
They can't both just be doing business. They have to kill each other.
Correct.
Oh shit. Okay.
Right. Okay.
I thought that was real for a second.
Although it was really, really funny though how they had the campaign trailer and the grappling hook is such a big thing in Halo now. And like 20 minutes later, they're like, in Horizon Zero Dawn, you have a pool caster where you can swing yourself around. I'm like, really?
We should give context to the joke we're making.
Sure.
After the Halo Infinite campaign reveal, which was, by the way, announced and then 12 hours later out. Yeah. So everybody scrambled, and all the podcasters who released things at 9 a.m. on Monday were really upset. Anywho, they released this thing with a whole lot of Halo goodness in it, and then the PlayStation account a few minutes later or after it tweeted something about Horizon Forbidden West. And to your point, Ains, it had both had grapple hooks and stuff, and it was just funny timing, for sure. But I thought it was a response. I thought they were throwing down the gauntlet.
So, no.
You said 2020 campaign, Mr. Craig.
Yep.
Yeah. How it started. Everyone remembers this image, of course.
That's right.
Yep.
And today they gave a UI update, extended Infinite, and how Craig looks today after his glam up.
God,
he's looking good, man. He's looking good.
That year delay was worth it.
And by the way, Craig has become cultured.
Yes,
oh, there it is.
Look at the colors.
Good colors.
Wow.
Culture.
Monocle, mustache, top hat.
Cultured Craig.
Brilliant. Wow. Now I'm curious. I wonder. I'm excited for the in-engine comparisons, the digital foundries and stuff. And you know what I don't care about, boys?
What's that?
Ray tracing.
No.
Ray tracing.
Oh, really?
Not even a little. No, and I'm taking away the joke because we haven't actually talked about the trailer yet. I don't care about ray tracing at all. I'm always performance over glamour. I want the frames, all the frames. And in terms of console stuff, like that's what I would care about, always performance mode. And I can't think of one game that I've ever played that I felt like, oh, this is 100% different experience with ray tracing on. I really can't. I think Watch Dogs might have been a little bit better, and then Control a little bit better, but it's always performance every time for me.
Yes.
And I'm not a guru of that kind of stuff.
I have it set on PlayStation where it's like, don't even ask me. It's always performance. I'll only go to quality mode if I'm making a picture. But other than that, it's always performance.
Yeah, that's why I like people were making a big deal out of Gran Turismo 7 and Forza Horizon, both doing ray tracing only in photo mode, right? Or the Forza Vista mode. And I was like, it's perfect. When you want the visual fidelity and you're taking photos, make the cars look as real as possible. When I'm racing, give me the frames.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't understand it. Ray tracing is one of those. Here's the thing that really annoys me about it. Every generation, you get this new technology. It's not a buzzword because it's a real thing and it can have an impact on visuals, of course. But it's one of those things that comes into
graphics.
Graphics. It's one of those things that comes into the psyche to get people hyped up that shouldn't be brought up yet, because right now there's too many sacrifices you have to make to get ray tracing in your game. And to the vast majority, I feel, maybe it's anecdotal, but to the vast majority, it feels like it's not worth it. It's not worth the trade-off for the resources you have to spend to have ray tracing in your game. Yeah. And it makes no sense to me. Like I think all of us can agree, or most 90% of us can agree, that one of the best things about this generation is we're getting 4K games, but we're getting the 60 and 120 frame games, right? That whole frame rate issue that's been there forever in console gaming is gone now. We can enjoy games like our PC friends, right? You can't do that if you want ray tracing.
PlayStation games, Ains.
That's another topic we could joke about today. But it's not worth it. I mean, and the visual fidelity is so good. I think it was Elu who joked with me the other night. He's like, I miss when you could just turn on a game and have fun with it. He's like, now it's like you turn on a game and it's like, well, is that 58 frames or 60 frames? You know, and it's just like, we've gotten this digital foundry magnifying glass, and people use it too much. At the end of the day, it doesn't effing matter. No. I was playing Halo Infinite. We all were together at 4K 120 on an OLED screen. You think I give a shit if there's a reflection that shows me in a mirror 10 feet over there? Who cares?
No.
It's funny because there, and you can go back several casts. I mean, we're 15 cast co-ops in. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
15 in, and I feel like you could go back to probably episode 8. We were talking about which TVs to get, and now, like I have the one that I don't feel embarrassed by, and I play on that one, and it looks great, fantastic. But I can't tell you how many times it's like, do you want to calibrate your HDR? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, no, I want you to do it for me because this is too much. I don't have the mind for it. Dolby Vision came out, and I'm panicking because I'm like, okay, my TV does it, but I feel like the colors are off. Is it right? Do I need to color?
They are off. And by the way, to go on a little rant real quick, Dolby Vision, if you activate it on your Series X, right? It then switches, and you've seen us talk about this in our chat, but it switches every game that uses HDR to Dolby Vision, but they weren't coded for Dolby Vision.
That makes so much sense.
So it messes shit up. Some of the colors are slightly off. Some of the pictures are too dark. And I've gone through all the calibration, and I've done, trust me, hours worth of shit. And it's still just like some games, like Gears 5 is made for Dolby Vision. It looks amazing if you're properly calibrated. But like every game switches to it now, and it's screwy, man. It's better to turn it off right now.
I think I'm going to, because it does throw me off, and I don't know what to do. And I don't have the eye for that. I don't have the ear for that. It's not in my wheelhouse. I was a console gamer to be a console gamer, and while I understand frames for performance mode, and I can kind of tell, I'm not the guy who's counting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell the difference between 30 and 60. And I can tell the difference between 60 and 120. But I'm not knowing if it's 119 or whatever, and I don't want to deal with colors and palettes and stuff. It's just too much.
I only notice when it chugs, and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
You get those console warriors out there that are like shooting goddamn fruit, you know? They're these voices that don't matter, and they're just sad and pathetic because they measure their self-worth to how many likes they get on this thing, because everything else around them sucks. So like, you get those guys that just yell at each other, that pretend they own Teslas, just throwing, shade at each other. And it's just like, it clogs up Twitter, because unfortunately we really, as humans, just love the drama. We say we hate it, but man, we like to see two people fight each other and someone lose, right?
Yeah.
It's sad that that's the case.
Exhausting.
It really is. It's like, can you just enjoy a goddamn game? And half of the time, too, you take a look at these guys, and it's just like, just a quick segue. PlayStation created a PlayStation PC brand, right? As they're transitioning over to PC games.
As the PS5 was dying, they're just stepping on its neck.
And they're just like, you dumb fools, we got all your $500. And so like they're making the push to PC, which is about goddamn time. And so many people are just so like the line in the sand, like they can't just admit they were wrong once. Like it's just such a breath of fresh air that like I can literally go, I thought moving Xbox games to PC was dumb in the beginning, but you know what? That was a dumb way of thinking. It's great. I was wrong. Xbox proved me wrong. Put more PlayStation games on PC.
It's crazy. You admitted that, and yet you're still here and smiling. It's crazy. You didn't die.
I didn't get Back to the Future or Thanos snap. Yeah.
It is bizarre.
It's just like people are just so, bizarre.
Well, and going back to the microscope too, sorry, Luke, it just made me think. I was playing, oh my God, damn it. I forget the game now, but I was going to play. Oh, my buddy asked me, not the PlayStation guy, but the guy I was just telling you about. Yeah. He asked if I ever played Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And I said, no, I just never got to it because I know it's a great game. I want to play it. It's enhanced now for Series X, PS5. I just never got to it. And if you look at like the whole Digital Foundry thing, it's like Xbox runs slightly higher resolution, PlayStation runs slightly higher frame rate. But we're talking like 57 frames at times to like 59. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like you wouldn't even notice if it wasn't for Digital Foundry. And he's like, if you do play it, even if it was on Game Pass, you should play on PS5. The frame rate's better there anyway. And I was like,
gives a
Jesus
shit.
Christ, like,
dude, I play most of my games third party on PlayStation. It runs poorer, and I use air quotes, on it than the Xbox.
You wouldn't even know it runs poor if it weren't for Digital Foundry.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And listen, they do great work. I'm not diminishing their work.
Yeah.
They hate it as much as we do of their stuff being weaponized. But like, it's just like, guys, come on.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just play where you want. I hate the whole like RDNA 2. Xbox has 5 little dots that are faster than PlayStation's little dots. It's like, shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, like, bro, I've never cared about that. I've never cared about it. You don't like haptic triggers? Play on Xbox. You want some haptic trigger? Rock on. Dude, we were playing in the past 2 months. We've played Back 4 Blood.
Tell me about it.
You know, when we played Back 4 Blood, you were on PlayStation. I was on Xbox. You know how much that affected me? 0. I had fun with my friend. When we played Halo Infinite, Ains and Joe, we were playing with a massive group of people across like a huge party. Some people had OLED. Some people had Xbox Series X's, some S's, some Xbox Ones.
Some were on PC.
Some were on PC. You know how much that affected my fun? Not at all. I did not care.
We were just talking about Riders Republic too. Joe's on PlayStation. I'm on Xbox. Who cares?
Nice.
Just play the game.
Nice. And when we play Forza, Joe, are you going to be on PlayStation? Get ready.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Honestly, can I be real? Forza looks way better than Gran Turismo 7.
It does, right? That's odd to me.
Yeah,
That's
right?
odd.
Because usually it's like Gran Turismo is
supposed to be like a marker.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
not...
Forza looks incredible.
What?
So, yeah, I can't.
PlayStation.
I was going to try and stick up for Gran Turismo. The only thing I can say is, as we know, right, these games, no matter how you see them on YouTube in 4K, streamed, whatever it is, it doesn't represent what you're going to see in your living room or your whatever, wherever you play, right? So I'm pretty confident Gran Turismo is going to look effing incredible. But we'll see. But I will say, and I don't think we're allowed to talk about it. Forza Horizon 5, mind blowing.
Someone's mother that I occasionally have sex with says that their son thinks that game looks incredible.
Yeah. That's what she told me too. She said the words mind blowing. That's what
I know. You were in the room. You were the one recording it. You were the one with the boom mic in the corner.
Got him.
Every week, I say, guys,
sound check.
Please stop.
Guys, can you just
please don't do this?
Wish. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
More mayo.
Oh my god!
Every week I say, guys.
Did you guys see the Halo
now,
trailer?
bro? You work at a school now.
Not for long.
Before we talk about this Halo trailer, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that called officially? I don't know.
Spiker, I think.
No, Spiker's Halo 3.
I don't remember.
Oh, all right.
And it honestly, like, next to the Bulldog, which is what I'm gonna have in my hand on Halloween.
Yeah.
You need to paint. Great. You need to paint those.
I feel like that's an extra level of maniacal I don't need.
You got to make them look real, so you can get shot by a cop or something. Oh, you're white, you'll be fine.
Well, that's my joke to say to him.
What is happening, guys? So anywho, Halloween's coming, and so my AR is going to be in a backsling.
Ooh, that's
and
okay.
I'm gonna have the Bulldog in my hands, and then the Spiker. I don't know, maybe it hang off my hip or whatever. But I know that I'm gonna have students and kids coming through that are in Halo stuff, and some of their costumes have Nerf. So there's we're absolutely gonna play Spartans with the little kids that are Master Chief.
Did you see the one, like, it was like a TikTok of the dad gets the Master Chief armor for their kid, and the kid's like, awesome. The kid's like not even older than 6, and he's just like, "Are you the Master Chief?" And it's just like standing still. He's like, "Oh wait, the Master Chief doesn't talk, right?" And he just nods his head. I'm like,
that's a girl, awesome. I thought. Was that
it was a girl, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. She had the full outfit. I'm not even joking. I have that same exact costume for adult. I wore it like 2 years ago.
I mean, I have the hoodie and the helmet.
I'm not even joking. Why front?
What's
Every
funny
Thursday night, Ains enters the bedroom. Cortana.
You've been recording us again, Boom Mike.
It's not good, Ains.
Oh my god, somebody get me a weapon.
You're safe.
I have a job to do. You're safe now. All right,
Let's talk about that trailer. You're safe now. God, that was great.
We were talking about how well received it was compared to last year, right? So last year, if you look at this is Halo's official YouTube account. Last year, the likes to dislikes was like 85% approval rate last year, which for a Halo trailer is pretty low, right? Like that's not what you want to see. This year's campaign is 98.5% approval, which is way beyond YouTube average, especially for an exclusive game, because hundreds of those dislikes were there before it was even shown.
Yeah.
So go figure. It's near universally loved, this campaign trailer. So what did you guys think of it personally?
Mini bosses, bro. I was so excited. I was excited. So in premise, based on the trailer and inferences we can make, and I don't mean like the people that are making like in-depth deep dives. They've never read a Halo book in their life. God, I love it. You're idiots.
Oh my God, don't start.
You're so dumb. But like in seeing this was, I think, what the original vision of Halo was 20 years ago come to life. And I love, and I wholeheartedly mean this, the idea that now we've got checkpoints to clear Halo style. And people can make the Ubisoft joke or the Arkham joke or whatever, but I think this is great because now the Halo lore will allow for special banished or mini bosses. There's a Shanshiram super boss that's in there, the Harbinger of Truth, which is just like, heck yes, I'm in on that one. Chief looks great. This world is explorable. There are going to be all types of vehicles. They dropped that $1 trillion wasp in there like it was nothing. I'm like, all right.
I thought it was going to like float down and land all soft, and it's just like clunk.
I thought that was funny too. It was like all this tech, and in the lore they have plenty of tech for anti-grav, and they were like, nah, let's just drop this thing. If the wings get bent, whatever. It's crazy. It was great, and I saw so much potential for so many gameplay opportunities. I saw potential for them to expand. I saw potential for new stories that don't involve Chief.
Yep.
I'm so excited for the possibilities, and I'm trying to keep my own expectations in check because you saw that one little clip where you could see the camera go in and you know it was going to go around up in the Chief, kind of a one-shot deal. And I'm like, oh, that's why co-op's messed up. They can't figure that out. Yeah. It's got to be it, because we've heard that before, but like that's going to be such a cool camera. I'm stoked, man.
You talking about when the banished guy rushes him, the brute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was pretty hyped. I've watched it several times. If you only watched the stream,
he wore his outfit when he watched it.
Make sure you go back and watch it in 4K. But I think you touched on it there, the possibilities, right? Like the people who are really kind of Halo fans were not just watching what this campaign's going to be. They were watching for the possibilities in the sandbox. Like some of those really well-known guys like Mid Blitz, right, who do those crazy Halo videos and trick videos and stuff. They were just like, the stuff I'm going to be able to do in this world is going to be ridiculous. Do you guys think these people who kept making it, calling it like Far Cry Halo and making the Ubisoft jokes, right? Like if you go back and watch that trailer, it's like 6.5 minutes long. They showed attacking one base and it was like, oh, this is Far Cry. It's like, can we slow down a little bit? Like, I think people were rushing to that judgment far too quickly.
Well, I'll say this. As someone that doesn't get the lore one bit, walking into this trailer, the first sentence, since the beginning, Halo was about Master Chief and Cortana. And then them going into this story is John, or is it John 117, the Master Chief or whatever. And you hear the da-da-da-da. That I immediately got choked up. I got choked up. I was like, oh my God, that hit me in my 10-year-old soul right there. Mm-hmm. So for me, as not a lore nut, it just felt like it was going back to its roots. And for me, I think the Far Cry element, you could throw comparisons out there. It's easy to do that, especially like when it comes into podcasting, you need to throw concepts that your audience are going to be able to understand and imagine in their head. That's why we always come up with things like Souls-like or Call of Duty controls, because like those are things that we can understand. But this is exciting. Like yeah, all the crazy shit I'm gonna be doing. My brother, I was watching it with him because Halo is our thing, and my brother was pretty stoic until he got to the part where you're flying the Banshee and
Yeah.
and you just jump out, you shoot one, and then you hook onto the other. My brother literally went, "Oh shit!" Like, yeah, that's awesome. And who cares if it's sort of like Far Cry in some elements? This is what we've been wanting, an open world Halo game. And it's open world in some aspects, it seems. This is what we wanted. So I don't know what those people that are complaining generally just want to complain. They want to find something that they don't like.
Yeah, I think overwhelmingly this trailer was applauded, right? We just said it on YouTube. But I think I saw some other people saying, Luke, you kind of alluded to it, which is if you go all the way back to CE, and I'm funny enough, I'm replaying CE right now, but if you go back to when we first played CE, the first level obviously is you're escaping the ship, but that second level called Halo was a revolutionary experience for a lot of people who played shooters. It was the first time you were in a shooter where you just saw this expanse in front of you and you could really just go. Now, of course, back then it was much more limited, but I think what they're doing with Infinite is realizing the potential there, right? For a chief to be able to just go explore and for a player to create this create your own adventure type thing in the Halo sandbox. Halo's always supported the sandbox between the weaponry, the vehicles, the enemy AI, etc. But they've never had the engine or the technology to really make it this type of open world experience. Like the missions in Halo 5 were the broadest we had seen yet, right? Big levels, different paths you could take, but it was still contained. Whereas this is finally opening up and let people do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. And it's so strange because I saw people complain about Halo Infinite feeling like quote unquote just more Halo. And then you get the same people arguing about this game that it feels different from Halo, that this is then just Far Cry. It's like, well, okay, so like you got to eat that cake because you're trying real hard here to make connections that just don't connect, man. I looked at this and I was just like, this is what I want from Halo. If you're telling me, yeah, this whole game is literally, the mission Halo, I'm down. This is awesome. Like you were playing the beachhead level in Halo last night on stream for Extra Life. Yeah,
and did you see the elite scare him?
Scared the crap out of me, dude. I thought I had killed every enemy, and I came around the corner, and he was just right there. I was like, "Oh shit!"
That one always got me too. But like, that's the type of experiences that I want in my Halo, and especially in my single player Halo. So like, I saw this trailer, guys, and it looks so fun. And yeah, give me grapple hooks everywhere. But the thing I want to take mention to is, to me, this is Xbox taking from another playbook, not trying to reinvent the wheel of how to show this thing off. To me, this felt like, okay, we saw that Horizon State of Play. Let's do our own version of that. Let's not try to be crazy here. Let's not bring in goddamn hosts that don't need to be there. Let's just talk about this game and give you an overview of this game with a voice that feels and sounds familiar. We good? Good. This is the way that they should be presenting all of their first party games from here on out. Show me overviews of each and one of these things. Every one of them deserves 5 to 10 minutes of just like, here's this game, get hyped for it.
For their audience after the reveal. I don't know that that's how you reveal everything, but
not reveal it, but like as
yes,
the month before or 2 months before. Yeah.
I agree with that. I also liked there was a self-awareness in the wording that people that are just watching it will not get, but that the critics and the people that cared about the Craig memes would. They talked about like the returning of old friends, and that was where you arrived to see Craig, like they talked about, as you said, Joe, from the beginning, Halo has been about Master Chief and Cortana. And they referenced that while giving you a new path. And it looks like the weapon, who Ains, I'm excited you're reading Shadows of Reach, which is going to be referenced, which is dope. The weapon and the pilot are going to serve as your new Cortana voices. And to kind of replace that juxtaposition, we're also hearing Chief talk more to show more empathy and feeling. He's always showed emotion, but it's been more and more each game. It's really with 4 is where it exploded with a lot of him, body language and such. But it's going to be really neat to see how he handles this state, because we're well past the created from Halo 5 and Cortana. There's Crash Guardians on Zeta Halo, which has had people living on it for a long time and plenty of times through the history of Halo. So you'll be discovering likely humans that work with the Banished, because that's always been the case. There have been plenty of humans that worked with the Covenant and whatnot. I'm curious to know the possibilities of storytelling, and we'll watch Chief navigate this losing battle. He's always fought from like a hope, but in this case, they've already lost. So how do you recover that? And what does Cortana have to do with it? What does the weapon have to do with it? What does the pilot do? The idea that the pilot's taking you from area to area and you're going and clearing that out, to me, is dope. I'm excited by that. And it's really neat to see the evolution of the game and what the vision of 343 has been since they took over with Halo, what Combat Evolved Anniversary or whatever it was. Yeah. Remember that? We lost that trivia question. But with Halo 4 and then through the course of like Spartan Ops to Halo 4 to Halo 5 to Halo 5 Warzone, and now what looks to be Infinite. And I think also one of the reasons we're so hyped on it is we have 3 great gameplay experiences with multiplayer. So we know that what we're seeing is going to be matched by feel. Why'd you make that face? Ains, you made a face.
Oh, I was yawning. That was it.
Oh.
You're boring us, Luke. You're boring.
No,
us.
I just haven't yawned. I was trying to hold it in so I wasn't like, no. So.
I was like, how can you be upset about Halo?
No, I agree with you. The feel of multiplayer, especially big team, is what I think compounded our excitement watching this trailer, right? Because you know what it feels like, you know what it looks like on these big open areas, and now many of us are kind of imagining what it's going to be like to be even bigger in a huge open world, and it's just exciting. But you mentioned humans working with the Banished, and I just want to say before anyone goes down a path, there were good people on both sides. So
that's true.
Just don't judge. Don't judge.
Guys.
What?
Cast 15 will be my last one. Oh man. I am very curious to know what they do, because I alluded to Spartan Ops. That's storytelling that was not Master Chief specific in Halo 4 with a good story with bad setup and stuff, but cool cutscenes. And I'd like to know what they do with more ideas, because Infinite is a platform now, and you can see it. It's built in, you know. And
I've said before, literally on the Halo Infinite site, it says campaigns. It's an S. It's there right now. You can go look at it.
They also have Fireteam Raven blocked out for console, coming soon, kind of.
They do. Let's
Fireteam
do it.
Raven is
do it. I've played that in the arcade. It's fun.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Luke.
Mini boss. Did you guys notice that they had named enemies? I think that's dope.
Yes.
I'm hoping. I don't know about you guys, but they talked about like tackling these outposts, right? I'm hoping that there's some type of mini boss in each one, right? Like it's a different type of battle that you fight in each one. I think that would at least make it interesting.
Shrines, Breath of the Wild. Didn't we hear a Halo is like Breath of the Wild joke a while back, like years ago?
Don't do
that. With guns.
Oh, with Ains with guns.
Do they break?
Yes, because that's great. That's great. That's a great mechanic.
It's great gameplay design.
I was trying to make a joke.
Right. I forgot.
But if those are like areas you clear out, similar to the shrines, I could see that comparison. I could swear that I heard Halo Infinite was like Breath of the Wild from like years ago.
I don't know. You just like took me down like 4 inches just by saying that.
That's all I had. 4 inches all I had.
I'm gone. I'm absolutely gone. So here's the thing, and Luke, I don't know if Shadows of the Reach touches on this at all, but here's what I really find interesting. So they showed Eshrom's kind of the main guy, right? That they keep showing, the Brute.
Yeah.
We saw Atriox on a hologram hidden behind the guy that runs out the door.
Can I just cut in? My brother, who's never watched like an episode of SpongeBob in his life, when that Brute talked, he was just like, "Wait, is that Mr. Krabs?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, Dan, that's Mr. Krabs."
Yes, that's who you're fighting, Mr. Krabs.
Continue.
So we've got Atriox potentially, somewhere on the ring, right? Or leading somewhere. you've got the end of Halo 5. You have this brigade where you have Locke and Team Osiris, which, you know, if you've only played the games, again, I don't know if the book touches on this, and I don't know, but Team Osiris and Locke, you've got Arbiter, right? You've got Halsey is with them. And you've got all these kind of narrative threads and important characters. Then in this trailer, they introduce, well, obviously Esheram Atriox, and they introduce the prelate or whatever she is, right? You know, we don't know what the hell she is just yet. And they introduce the what's the Spartan killer guy?
Shanshiro. Is she the Harbinger of Truth?
Yeah, okay, you got him as well. And it's like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of important characters they're talking about leading into this game. So I'm very curious to see how that all comes together, because that's a lot of narrative responsibility. And 343 with these lore characters hasn't necessarily been the best so far. So I'm very curious to see what they do.
So I think that by way of the pilot and the weapon, they'll be ushering the player through some of these things, like, hey, who is this? You know, like, what happened? They'll do a lot of that. I think because of the time jump between 5 and Infinite, some of those people are dead or hurt or captured. You might have to go save part of Fireteam Osiris, but I would be willing to bet they kill off 1 or 2 characters. A lot of people would say Locke, but honest to goodness, Locke has a really cool character that just was terrible.
He's an awesome character. Just don't make me use him instead of Chief.
Right. Like an Oni operative turned Spartan is crazy cool.
Yeah. Oh, Blue Team, of course, was with Chief too.
Right. And I think one of Blue Team likely gets killed, which I think
I said that the other day.
Chat. I think you said that. Yeah. I think that wasn't the first time I'd had that thought, but in reading Shadows of Reach about Blue Team, and that's like the 4th book they've put out with Halo, with Master Chief's story and Blue Team. I think they're building up towards removing one of them from the field and giving him a reason to hate the Banished, as opposed to just saving humanity, because he saved humanity. Been there, done that. Now he needs it to be personal, you know, like, and that's the thing. He's getting older. Chief is getting older, Spartan or not. He was always young. And then he's like in his 50s.
He's 40. I did the math on this the other day. I think in the timeline, that because this is 25, we're getting geeky now, 2559 into 2560. I think he's 49.
Now he's been in cryo for some of that. But
4 years.
And with some Spartan.
So he's technically 45.
Stuff. Right. I mean, like, this guy, he's seen it. So nothing will phase him anymore. But if he's angry and hates people, and we see one of the Guardians has crashed on Zeta Halo, and you've got the Created, there's a lot of ways that they can take it. But lore overload is going to be a big deal. Because, I mean, I'm sitting here talking about book stuff. To your point, there are a lot of characters. They're going to have to kill some off. And I bet you rescue some. And there's campaigns, which means I think you have your Master Chief story, because it's been printed on all the books since 5 came out. They rebranded them, and they've all put a Master Chief story on there, and they've talked about recentering, and Joseph Staten has said this needs to be about Chief, it needs to be about the Halo, it needs to be about Cortana, and they even said it in their trailers. So I'm really expecting some deaths and then some separate campaigns to flesh out some of these other stories. But the main story, I think, is a one-shot camera Chief story, if I had to guess, and then some of these other things they'll mess around with, you know.
Do you guys think, even though they haven't talked about it, that they could surprise people with the Flood?
Yes, totally. She played it. I mean, Halo Wars 2 ended that way. That's, I mean, like, I don't feel bad. Nah, whatever. Like, y'all should have watched the Blur cinematics, and not many people are going to play.
No, everybody pretends that they know who Atriox is, so we could pretend that. Yeah.
Atriox probably will not even feature heavily in this game. If I had to guess, to start, I mean, he's Thanos, so like they've got to build to him.
Yeah,
you know, I bet you Asharium is your main boy. Your Harbinger of Truth is your main, is your other big bad, and then you have a mention of the Created. Maybe the Banished beat the Created. I don't know, but after that, Atriox is the next campaign. It's the sequel campaign that's still in Halo Infinite. If I had to guess.
Oh, I think it's like even more than that, man. I think you're building up to you like got to build up campaigns? Like 3 campaigns.
I can see it, and as a diehard Snyder fan, I'm down with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see what this is gonna look like, shape up to be, and story wise, yeah, I'm willing to give this game a shot. You know, Halo's never been.
You mean the story?
The story. Okay. Yeah, because Halo's never been. Like, I love the stories, don't get me wrong, but like I've never been so invested in the lore, and this might get me there depending on, but everything I've seen.
Chief in the action, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's my green astronaut man that shoots the aliens.
Nice. But it's actually an important perspective though, because I would say, especially with Game Pass and launching on PC now, that the vast majority are probably closer to that camp, Joe, where they recognize Master Chief, they know Halo, they have some memories from somewhere in their past with Halo, and they're looking forward to just seeing what Chief does. They don't know any of these ins and outs that we're talking about.
Yeah. This is how we kill Fortnite, guys.
See, Fortnite's thinking about making a no build mode.
Are they really?
Nice.
That's how you know they're bleeding. Yeah, that's how you know they're bleeding.
That's how you know it's dying off. But I was, as you guys were talking, I was thinking, think about how much we've just talked about characters and lore and story and campaign alongside this game that has, in my opinion, and I know I'm biased, but I think it's fair, what's going to be the best shooter multiplayer on the planet when it launches.
What other it's tracking better than Call of Duty.
Yeah, it is. So what other no other game does that? What other game does that?
Took a pay cut, guys. Give Call of Duty a break.
He's such a hero. Nobody's giving credit to this guy.
He makes double what I make, and with his cut paycheck.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude's like, I made $130 million 6 months ago. Go ahead and give me a pay cut, guys. I'm doing it for the team.
Yeah, doing it for you guys. Yeah.
Oh my god!
What a hero, man! Not all heroes wear capes.
Let's see, the PC, Joe or Ains, you mentioned PC. I want to briefly reference that Sony has created a new branding for their PC stuff.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh yeah, well dead Sony.
Dude.
Sorry. That is so cool. That is so cool. That means if you are one of those people, that likes playing on PC, you can play Xbox games, you can play PlayStation games. It seems like Sony's waking up to the need for the future, which we know because Jim Ryan's like literally commented on it. We talked about it in Cast Co-op 14. I just love this. I love it. I think it's great. I don't care about
why even buy a PlayStation. Why even buy an Xbox?
It's true.
It's right.
Sure.
Why? Why buy an Xbox? I can play Avengers on my tablet. I can play it on my screen. Why even buy whatever?
That's right.
They did an analysis, and there's only like 8% overlap. That was a surprise, wasn't it?
Why take a train when you could drive a car?
That's right. Why get there faster and do more, go further, less resources? Right. Crazy.
That's right.
I don't know.
But I thought that was. I like it. I saw that Sackboy was leaked. Right, it's coming next to PC. Play that game. It's amazing.
It's good.
Is it good?
It's really good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I have a slate of PlayStation exclusives that I want to get to. Ratchet is one of them, and Astro Boy.
I'll never buy a game that's $70.
Oh, we're talking about Returnal. They gave it a save mode. The game that couldn't do it
can't be done. Can't be done.
It's impossible. And even if you did, I wouldn't even play. I wouldn't even care. Like, because you give it to me hard, Daddy.
Remember Godfall? And Godfall could only work on a PlayStation 5, and they're like, man, we didn't sell anything. PlayStation 4, everybody.
Hey, you're looking good. Gran Turismo 7, PlayStation 5 exclusive. Yeah, well, not really.
Well, but if you freeze the frame, like one of the lights don't turn on. So, like, is it even worth it?
Yeah. I heard Miles Morales is no fun on PlayStation 4.
That's right.
Going back to Sackboy, I don't know about you, Joe. Like, Ratchet was awesome and obviously graphically showcased for the PS5. As a game, I had more fun with Sackboy.
Oh, really? Sackboy, admittedly, I have not beaten. I've gotten midway through, and I think that's when Demon Souls took over me, and I tried to go for the plat, and then I got COVID and almost died. So,
which, by the way, if he does die, I still get a Spider-Man statue. That was a real thing. Right. I want that to remember Joe by. That it's a real thing.
Wait.
We talked about it.
If it happens again and I go, the letter my brother's gonna have to read out loud. Hi, I was a friend of your brother's. Really want that Spider-Man statue.
Get a Spider-Man statue, and he sucked anyway.
We played games every day for the first year of the pandemic. I earned that statue.
That's right.
Looks like I was only doing this for the statue.
I just wanted the statue.
It's right there. But no, the soundtrack of that game is so good.
And the levels. Did you get to some of the music levels where they incorporate the? Oh my god!
Yes, it was. I loved it so much that like I started liking and making playlists of like the soundtrack in my Spotify. Like it's a really good game, man.
You probably didn't get to one of the later ones, and they do Britney Spears' "Toxic."
Yes, I got that one.
Okay. I've heard about this.
It's that one and the Funk Uptown Funk. Yeah, are just absolutely, literally some of the most inventive platforming levels I've ever played in my life. Just amazing.
Honestly, could I get like a little fanboyish here for a sec?
Aren't you always?
Yeah, thank you. Really missed opportunity. PlayStation did not snatch up Sumo because like they've done such good work with PlayStation. It was surprising. That said, it doesn't look like they're really losing out on anything. But
didn't Sumo also work on? They've worked on Xbox projects, didn't they? I'm forgetting now.
Did they work on Crackdown?
Sumo Digital.
Sumo Digital. Yeah.
Yes, they worked on They worked on a couple things recently.
Well, if they worked on Crackdown, then I take back what I said about doing good work.
They've done a lot.
That one's for you, Luke.
Crackdown's fun. Shut up. It's fun.
Uh-huh.
You can like games that aren't perfect.
No, they have to be 8s or higher. I won't play them.
That's right.
Well, that's a shame. You're not going to enjoy Guardians.
No, I'm not going to anyway. That's
too bad. That's too bad. I do want to talk about Guardians. Real quick, shout out to Sound Shapes Blob, and Sound Shapes. Remember that for PS3 and Vita?
Sound Shapes. Yes.
Yeah, remember the Sound Shapes Blob was that little blob that just popped around. That should have been in PlayStation All Stars. I love that thing.
Do you guys think we're gonna get a PlayStation All Stars?
Oh yes, absolutely, man.
I hope so.
How did they not?
Everyone's getting a platform fighter. Nobody bought the Nickelodeon one, which was funny because everyone's like, "Oh, I'm getting it." Yeah, right, you were. But WB's getting one. I'm gonna body people as Batman, and every time I beat down the stupid looking characters from Adventure Time, every time I'm vengeance.
Did you just insult Adventure Time? What's wrong with you?
I've never seen it. All right. Guardians. I want to talk about Guardians for a couple reasons, boys. Joe, I know you're playing it and enjoying it. Ains leaving us? That's weird.
I'm kidding.
I want to talk about it because I got to review it for XCP and did my first written review for Season Gaming, which was cool.
You did?
Really enjoyed the process. It was nice to get back to writing. For sure, but
it was good writing, right, Ains?
I kept asking.
The hours spent on editing. Jesus Christ.
I will say I was, I think, harder on the game than other people were, or more bothered by some of the stuff than other people were. I gave it a 7 by Seasons Gaming scale, which is honorable. Loved the visuals. I thought the visuals were fantastic.
Graphics.
Loved the writing. However, despite loving the writing, I thought there was a bit too much dialogue, even for a game like that, because the action was so good and they wouldn't let you get to it. Really praised the voice acting, which was incredible. Visuals are, and I said visuals a minute ago, but I want to talk about differently from the character models. The vistas were just incredible to look at. But I really felt like the dialogue dragged on for too long, and you had 20
You're laughing
hours
at the way you said vistas, huh?
Yeah. Okay, it just caught me weird. You're like, the
vistas.
Oh, did I sound funny?
Meester.
What's Luke's favorite operating system? Windows Vista.
I've been up since 5 a.m. and I've been teaching kids and adults. I taught adults today too. So after I was done teaching kids, I had to go teach adults.
Third-party Microsoft Vista.
And then I had to coach kids. I was doing so much stuff. My voice is dying. You can hear it dying, and you're over here mocking me. Oh, gosh.
Go on.
Really thought the accessibility stuff was great. A nice evolution from the Shadow.
Honey, we have Windows Vista at home.
Just Look, just take a quick break if you need one.
Oh God.
Whatever, Guardians is fun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry.
The internet seemed to like it more than I did, which I thought was funny because I thought I'd be too high on it because I'm such a diehard superhero guy.
Yeah. And it's funny how high I am on it.
No one cares, Joe. Shut up.
Shit, all right. Oh, guys, great. Keep.
Also, the mustache looks terrible.
Okay, you know what? I got a lot of compliments on it. You think they were just jokes?
That means they got caught looking at it.
Damn it. No, because you know what? I forgot to shave the mustache last night, and my friend was just like, "Oh no, actually, it makes you look older. I like it."
Yeah, but not in a good way, buddy.
All right,
creeper.
Fair enough.
Let me guess, you're working in an elementary school.
Oh, wow. God.
It's a high school. Thank you very much.
One more time. Oh, God.
All right. Nonetheless, I'm really liking Guardians. And while playing Guardians, I understood why I didn't jive with Psychonauts 2. Because Psychonauts, our problem with it, never shuts up. Let me play the goddamn game. It's really great. Stop giving me all these cutscenes. Stop giving me... give me dialogue while I'm traversing.
Yes.
The reason why I did Guardians, because it's the same thing, but like up it by 10, is because...
And actually funny. Mostly.
And it's actually funny. No, but I know those characters. Okay. So like, I know Guardians because I know Guardians 1 and 2. I came into Psychonauts not really invested in the characters, wanted to learn them, but kind of feeling like I walked midway into something. Where Guardians feels like I walked midway into a Marvel movie. So I have to give major props to this game for really understanding what made James Gunn's universe really great, while then also understanding what made his franchise popular. Yeah. And then at the same exact time, the reason why Guardians is just so good, which is the lore, the universe itself, is it just vibes of like that 80s future rock that I really dig, and the voice acting is incredible. Like I think everybody does a great job at making the characters their own, but at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, that's Rocket, from the movie, or like that's Groot from the movie. Right. They do a really great job at dancing between that line, which somehow Avengers didn't get, and we all criticize them for being like, again, we got Avengers at home type of thing, where it's like, this is like the reject Avengers. This looked like that in the adverts, but as time went on with this game, it just became so welcome so fast. So for me, I love the characters. I actually dig Gamora way more in this movie, in this game than the movie. I actually think she's more, I guess, personable.
Yep.
In this, and even like Drax, like they give him more time to be Drax. It's really good.
These characters are better, I think. But what I said in the review, and forgive me for the self plug, but what I said was, this is not the Guardians of the MCU nor that of the comics. This is a team developed and written by Eidos Montreal. It feels wholly unique, with only inspirations drawn from those comics and films. Yeah. And I think that's exactly it. And I think they did it better in a lot of cases. Gamora and Drax specifically just feel better in the game. I could not agree more with you about the voice acting. And do you feel like the main, like Star-Lord sounds like Hawkeye from the films? I feel like he sounds like a little bit like
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, and I'm like, is that him? It's the actor's name is John McClane.
He wanted to be a better superhero. All right.
Yeah, it was a little bit odd. It was a little bit odd, but to the point, combat is so good in this game when you level up, but as you get to the end, it's just so good. But
can I say something? It's immediate. It was immediate for me. I loved the action in this game. I said this on the Trophy Room Self Plug, that it feels more like a third person shooter version of like Final Fantasy VII, where like you're in mid combat, you're controlling what your characters do, like Groot support, Drax is the tank, was it Rocket is the AoE damage guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like they all serve their purpose. And when you get the flow going, it feels really good. I've messed up a few times because I'm not the best in the game, but there is literally no better feeling than like when you fill the ultimate meter up, and instead of you doing this like cool ultimate, you gather everybody around, give them a pep talk, and if it succeeds, they do double damage. And their ultimates are on like super cooldown. There's nothing better than when you fire off that ultimate, beating the shit to people to music like Eye of the Tiger. And it plays for the whole song duration.
Ains, you need to play this game. You don't have to like superheroes or care. This is a game that you can enjoy, and this goes to anybody. If I'm telling Ains to play it, that's too bad. You really would like it. Like, this is a game.
I'm not denying it. I probably would. It's just a bad time.
That is
fair. Get one of the interns to do something.
So also let me say.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Well, I wanted to note that this is a great game to wait for sale because the great story is going to be there. You don't need to play it as far as spoilers are concerned because like nothing in there is such a big deal. Like the spoilers are you can see them coming a mile away, and you're gonna have a blast with it. It's a great single player one-off story. It's not like gonna have an end game, not gonna be pulled in 3 directions like Avengers was. It's just a game.
The sad thing is too, I feel like, and I don't mean this as a slight, but I feel like because of the time of year, because of the type of game it is, this is gonna be a game that's like $30 in a month.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like Riders Republic, it's gonna be the same way.
Also, I didn't get a code for this. I actually got it for free because, humble brag, I signed up for the PlayStation card to get a free game, and I forgot I never got the voucher for that free game. And so I got the free. I remembered right on time because it's like, this is gonna expire in 7 days. I was like, oh shit! So here we go. I got a free game.
There you go. Good free game.
Yeah, people that I've talked to include, obviously you guys now, but other people have really been high on this game. It got reviewed well. And again, just to stress, Luke, you were lower in terms of the 1 to 10 scale, but 7's not a bad score, especially on our scale.
And I read all the critiques, and they all matched. Everything matched up with what I thought was good and bad.
Yeah, we even talked about it right before you published it. But the one thing I'm hearing, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because I'm not deep into the characters or anything. Like, I don't know a lot about. I've seen the movie, of course, but that's it. Yeah. But I've seen, I would say, several people or more say that they are enjoying this iteration of the characters more than the movies. Like, this is now their favorite iteration of Guardians.
Yeah, in a lot of respects, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
It's really good.
They also have time to flesh things. I mean, this is a 20+ hour game.
Sure.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a 2-hour movie, another 2-hour movie, and then like some mixed in stuff where the focus isn't on them. And like part of that, though, I mean, I was bored in parts of it, and they're obnoxious because after a while, they don't grow for like there's segments of time where they only talk, and there's a lot of it. And if you're not jiving with your mood's not matching the Guardians' humor, it's like, all right, shut up and just let me play.
Yeah.
And those windows of time, thankfully, don't last long, but they do exist, right? And there were moments where I was like, I don't care. We get it. You fight a lot. You're a dysfunctional family. I know. But there are other times where I'm like, yeah, this is my jam, and I get it too, And shout out, by the way, to the accessibility options, which I said, but also when you pick a dialogue tree, it gives you the gist of it, and then as you highlight it, it tells you word for word what they're going to say. So you're not getting these weird translated things where you're guessing.
Dude, I hate that in dialogue games where it's like, do you want to say nice job? Okay, yeah, nice job. And then your character's like, well, I guess you did all right. I mean, that's not how I would have done it. You're like, wait, that's not what you thought I was going to say. I hate that.
Exactly. So... Yeah, so I think there's a lot going for this game. It is going to be $30 real soon. You can wait to play it, and when you do, you're going to have a blast. And Nains, put it on your radar for down the line if you're willing, because you will have a good time with the story. If you can put 80 hours into some of the you put 30, 80 hours into Outriders and be like, oh, I didn't like it, bro. You're gonna love this one.
You guys gotta leave by. You gotta let Biomutant go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. It's a fantastic game. Didn't jive with you. That's all right.
You know why they didn't jive? Because they wouldn't shut up.
That's right.
You're gonna love this game.
Literally said they won't shut up in Guardians. Not 2 minutes.
That's why you're gonna love it.
Yeah. I actually texted a picture of Gamora like she did something badass to my best friend Amy, and she hates when I like if I find someone attractive, I'll go, my wife. Very nice. Because it's like an Always Sunny nod. And I sent that to her. She's just like, who's that? Because she only knows the movie. I'm like, that's Gamora. She's like, Gamora looks like a goblin. And I said, and if you understand this Always Sunny reference, I'm going to make that goblin my wife. And it was just a great moment of like, I now see Gamora as the game version and not so much the Gamora from the movies.
Drax too. You see Drax sitting on the couch reading a book about sarcasm with glasses down on his nose. He's like, yes, I see.
There's a part with him where you see a bit of character growth where he says a pun and like he goes, did that make sense, Peter Quill? Or like, right, Peter Quill? And it's like, it doesn't work whatsoever. It's really genius writing. And it's surprising how like this game just keeps skyrocketing it's really some of the most fun I've had. And again, I'm still early in, but like I'm on like chapter 8, I think. And I'm just like, this is so much fun. I'm loving this thing.
There's a chance for an incredible screenshot towards the end. And I hated myself because I'm not good at screenshots. And Ains wanted more screenshots than I could give him.
I can confirm he's not good at screenshots.
Yeah, and you have to play offline, and you can't upload stuff. And I was forgetting to take pictures as often as I wanted to, but I'm bad at it. And this game is so gorgeous; it deserves a better person. There are going to be a lot of people that play with this photo mode, and it's going to be cool to see for sure. But I mean, the nice thing is that this exists, Avengers exists for another year, and then Midnight Suns exist, Insomniac Spider-Man and Wolverine exist. Mm-hmm. Marvel is figuring out that they can do more than live service. So Avengers is there, but now you've got another single player romp amidst several. This is good news, I think.
Yeah, I was just looking up Eidos Montreal because I couldn't remember if they were fully owned by Square Enix, and they are. Which I don't know about you.
Them confirmed?
Do you think so?
It just I don't know. It feels like almost a shame in a way. It feels like Eidos Montreal is a very talented group. They made, Deus Ex. They've obviously made this game now. Very critically acclaimed games. It just feels like, I don't know. It's just a feeling. It just doesn't feels like they could do more if they were with another bigger company.
Oh, damn it.
What?
You hooked on
That's a reference. It's a reference.
I didn't hear what you said, but it's fine.
Also, Luke messed up on the title of what to name like the review, because honestly, the one word they keep throwing out there is flark.
I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't.
And you could be like, Guardians, a flarking good time, and it would have made sense.
Because I didn't want a kid to see that. That's all. If a student saw it, I didn't want to explain that.
Shit.
I know. I'm aware every week.
Dumb kids.
What was the one last thing?
If you're somehow a student and you found this video, I think not your students, like my students. I think less of you as people. All right, continue. Only kidding. There's like a handful of you there.
He's broken me like 10 times this episode.
Why do you think he grew the mustache?
Oh God!
You're gonna shave it off, and no one's gonna recognize me.
Oh man, it rubbed off. From friction. That's all I can think about the whole time.
Joe just needs a top hat, monocle. He's working his way to it.
There it is. There it is.
Got it.
All right, boys. Let's see. What do we got going on? Redacted, and redacted is what's going on for the next month, which is cool, but also redacted. So that's neat. That's neat.
We'll talk more about redacted in the future.
Yeah, in the future.
You can talk Riders Republic now. It's good. It's really good. It's really fun. It's better than people were thinking it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Got to tell you, I was not overly interested because Far Cry is not doing it for me right now.
Yeah.
And man, when I saw those 16-point achievements, I was like,
can I just say how like frustrated I am with Ubisoft for taking my email and then using it for their marketing to get me to play more of their game?
Oh God,
what's happening with that? Are people? Do people not know about unsubscribe? I have not gotten a single email. I've
gotten multiple, and I was actually
I'm dry heaving. That's how upset I am.
I was like, it's kind of cool. All right, delete. Like, it was like 4 seconds of my day.
Yeah. Why were you perturbed? Like, and that's like the data they're using. Like they're like come on, you're on your Android phone, Jeez.
The made up guy in this game is making fun of me and now he's emailing me, and I feel insulted.
It's like my inbox is full enough. Like, how am I gonna know like all the coupons I got from Petco and like my Walgreens vaccination card and stuff? Like, how am I supposed to know all these things?
Shout out to the people that get that email and they're like, yes. Remember when you were a kid and you got mail and you were like, Grandma sent me something. Awesome.
Some kid probably playing saw that email, or his mom showed it to him and was like, oh, I got to go kill some people.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably not the right thing to take from it, but you know what I mean.
Also, Mom, don't let your kid play that. Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. Riders is good.
Guys.
We've got more games to talk about soon.
We do. Lots of stuff, which is exciting. Boys, it's a good time. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Always good.
I think you're all right.
There's some stuff for your students in here they can enjoy.
God, stop. God.
For all right. To enjoy as well.
I was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know where your mind is going. God.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to all the times where I'm just like, please stop. All right, boys. That's going to be it for me. You can find me on Twitter at InsipidGhost. Please do check out the Xbox Expansion Pass. I am quite proud of it. The most recent episode included Xbox Era's creator, and I asked him point blank whether you consider yourself to be a journalist, a content creator, what your role is, particularly when you have, Xbox in the name. Same that I would ask Joe and everyone else. Really interesting conversation there. Really cool. Really enjoyed John Clark there. So check that interview out for sure. Review of Guardians of the Galaxy is included in that last episode, and Redacted is coming up, which is cool. Can this episode title be named Redacted? I feel like we've said it too much. Now I can't stop. It's like a car accident.
Yeah. I wish I had. You keep saying it. Joe and I haven't said it.
I know. I wish I'd stop. Like I want to stop.
You having a stroke?
I am. Feels like it. I smell toast.
Joe.
Yeah.
Go.
Hi, you can find me at Mr. Badman on Twitter. You can find the show, The Trophy Room, on Twitter at PS Trophy Room. You can find us wherever you find your podcast services of choice, whether that's Apple Play, Spotify, YouTube, The Trophy Room Show. All there.
That wasn't your normal spiel.
And, I get criticized. Criticize. Rate us 5 stars, please.
Isn't that your favorite character in a movie? You told me.
That's right.
Isn't that what you told me? Hey, you're already here. Season Gaming. You're already on the channel. Guys.
Yeah, you already know. You're already here, so like,
I work
thumbs
out.
Down.
I don't want to tell anybody I work out, but I post pictures of myself a lot. I have a Halo costume, but I make fun of Luke.
You done? You said, no. I own a Halo costume. I'm going to make fun of Luke. You're the one who just said you're dressing up as Chief tomorrow.
For the kids.
It's for the kids. Yeah, of course.
It's for the kids. Okay.
When else can I play Nerf with other Master Chiefs? It's gonna be fun. I am excited to do I make fun of this one nerd who always makes these terrible skits for like clicks. But I'm excited because I started doing a Halo skit back when I thought Halo Infinite was coming out, and I've got several planned. I'm very excited to film them. It's gonna be fun. They're gonna be goofy.
Film them for what?
Just for fun. For fun. For excitement for Halo Infinite. Like I made one like a year ago, and then they delayed it, so like I just haven't made them. But now I've got all the stuff I'm ready to do.
Oh, we may have to share these on Cast going forward.
They're gonna be on my YouTube. Like they're gonna be fun. Like they're meant to be fun and silly.
Maybe just put them on a TikTok.
No, it's gonna be saucy.
I wonder how he's doing.
Amazing. Horsepower, Season Gaming. You know the drill. They already said it.
Like,
I'm just gonna let it go. You know where we are.
They dress it up as a what? Talking about what? Disown him.
We said it.
If my father saw me dress up in any type of garb to make fanboy clickbait bullshit, my dad would straight up just disown me from the family, and I wouldn't blame him. It's like the word. I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
I get it.
This is cringy and it's not funny in the slightest. I get it. You're not SNL, all right? You're not even Mad TV. Sad.
The subtext on this is great, and all six of us think it's funny.
Yeah.
It's good. That's good.
They're like
Thanks for listening
Second
to Cast
City
Off
for
every week, guys. Yes,
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. Every other week.
15 episodes, boys.
Yeah, look at us.
Keep shit. Keep casting that cop.
It gets worse every time.
Look for beautiful vistas.
Shut up. I hate you guys. It's the worst.
Vistas.